Hey guys, Reece Sammons here, Head of Property Management with Sydney Listings. Today we're going to be talking about pricing your rental property right so you maximize the chance of finding a tenant as soon as possible. Now, there are obviously a lot of factors involved in choosing the right price for your property. The first one being the market conditions of the current rental market. Now, I've mentioned in other videos before that the current conditions in Sydney are not the best. There is an oversupply of properties with an undersupply of demand, which of course creates a more competitive market and results in lower rents for landlords. So sometimes in this market, we're finding that if you're an owner and you are dealing with a shorter time frame, it is best if you do a lot of research into the actual market rents for your property and don't try to list your property for too much of a higher price that is above market rent for the particular area. You want it to be basically on par with the market rent or even slightly lower than market rent so you can try to get a quick turnaround with a new tenant. Another thing to factor in is that the way that tenants look for properties that they're interested in are within certain price brackets. For example, they might be looking at a property between $500 and $550 per week. Now, sometimes by just adjusting the price on your property of say $5 and bring it down into a different bracket, so say you've brought it down now from $500 and you change the price to $495 per week, you've actually brought your property down into a different bracket, which means that people who are looking within that price range will actually see your property for the first time, which is a very handy thing to have. There are obviously a lot of other factors involved. I mentioned earlier about time frame. So if you're an owner who is just looking to get a quick turnaround, you want to list the property as close to market rent as possible. Whereas if you have a little bit more time on your hands, perhaps you have a little bit more income behind you, you can afford to wait a little bit longer to find that one tenant that might pay that little bit extra high price. So there is a lot of things that are involved in making this decision. Here at Sydney Listings, we try to do a very thorough check of the market. So instead of just looking on domain and realestate.com to see what other agents have listed their property at, we also do a market comparison of properties that have actually leased. And we find that much more valuable than looking on the major websites to see what other properties have been listed on, because those properties are still available. They haven't leased yet. So they're not a good indication of where your property should be priced at. A better indication is looking at the properties that have leased and then deciding accordingly what you think that you can get your property for. So that's it for now, guys. As always, we're here to help. Please give us a call. We'd be happy to speak to you further about this.